Jordan, Zach, Sally, finally we get a chance to talk together. Jordan, you've been amazing, man, for the last, for I'd say the last year or so,
Yeah,
for
man.
representing the band whenever we get a chance to do an interview. But this is great. Not just the fact of talking to all three of you, but the fact that you guys are part of the Juno Master class. I am so proud of you guys. Congratulations again for jumping those hurdles, especially during a pandemic, and making things happen. Sally, I'm going to let you speak first. As ladies first, congratulations in all this.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a wild year for everyone in the world, obviously. And for a lot of those in music, it's been a challenging one to understand how to shift and how to kind of change what we're doing to adapt. And I think we're having a lot of fun with it. So I'm glad that other people are noticing.
Zach, for folks who don't know exactly what the Juno Master class is, what is it exactly? Because only a handful of people can get into this. And I literally mean a handful of people get into this every year. Because to me, it's like it's a launching pad.
Yeah, and hopefully we launch further in our careers to infinity and beyond. Yeah, it's a very special opportunity for uh, a select group of Canadian musicians to gather together and learn amongst each other and other industry people what we need to know to launch off that pad, basically. And it's different. This is the first year that it's all virtual, so I think they changed the formatting. There's more artists, and I don't know what the second round's like, but the first round was very informative, and we got to hang out with a lot of peers virtually, but we got to get to know different sides of the story. We're always locked in our bubble of just MONOWHALES world, and it was a good learning experience to see other sides of the industry and how people are making their way through it.
The thing that's I'm so happy about is, Mono Whales, watching you guys grow from the first time that I got a chance to introduce you folks when you were playing at City Hall, and just watching everything that you guys have been doing for those last couple of years. Jordan, how do you feel the growth of the band has been since the time I met you guys to today, us doing this interview?
Yeah, kind of everything has changed since then. That was really early days for us when we were just kind of launching. So yeah, between then and now, we've had a lot of experiences we didn't think we'd have, and seen some success that we were hopeful for. But nothing's a sure thing. So we've been really lucky, and yeah, we're just happy to be where we are now, and looking forward to tours coming up, and bigger and better things.
Sally, you just mentioned about tours. Are there going to be tours? What's going on right now with that? Let's jump right into that.
Honestly, as soon as we can be touring, that's what we live for. Like, it's our favorite thing to do in the entire world. So, obviously, the world is going through something real tough right now, and our first and foremost safety is the most important. But once we're all jabbed and safe to be on the road again, we will be. And we have some dates booked, but we'll see if they happen. I don't want to like jinx anything, but hopefully things let up here in Canada and we're able to start exploring and going out again.
Zach, let's talk about what was happening 14 months ago, because before the world changed as we know it today, you guys, I know, working on an album. I do believe you had released an album then, getting ready to do all these different things. Then you find out, boom, COVID-19 hits. What were the plans before this happened, and how did you guys cope during this time?
Hmm. Well, yeah, it's hard. That's a lot to process, actually. Deep question. Funny enough, 3 days before lockdown commenced, I believe, we met up with our manager for the first time. Our Andrew.
Or Andrew.
Our Andrew. Our manager's name is Andrew, and he's our first manager, and we signed on, you know, we met him 3 days before lockdown, and then that was the last time we ever saw him. But we were just finishing up the Daytona Bleach, actually, and obviously that kind of just put a pause on everything. Geez, yeah, we were planning on probably putting the record out a lot sooner than it came out, and stuff happened. And what's that?
And touring a lot more.
Yeah, of course, touring, all the summer festivals that were lined up. There was a lot of stuff going on, and then there was months of, what do you call it? Uncertainty. And it was a learning process, I think, for all of us. And we didn't see each other for months, and it's quite an experience. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it.
I think it's the first time that we didn't see each other for more than a week in like it might be exaggerating a little, but not that much, in like 7 years.
Probably, yeah.
Wow.
7 or 8 years. Like, we see each other a lot, and if we're not, we're on the phone. Like, it's just constant. So to have that complete break was like, there's some positivities in having some space, but it was definitely like being ripped apart in a lot of ways. So I think that was really shocking, is to not be around each other all the time either.
So I'm going to ask you again, continuing this, was there ever a worry that the band would break up because of this pandemic?
I don't know how real to get here. Like,
Get real.
Get real.
Get real.
Jordan, you okay with her getting real?
You can get real.
Get real.
Okay.
Get real. I want to hear the dirty.
I think that in my heart, like, I really didn't see it happening. Like, we had just hit a #2 single in Canada. So it's like we kind of went into this with like the best possible scenario in it. So to us, it's like we're just getting started. And this is like even now, I think that although we might have missed some opportunities that were going to happen coming out of this, I think we're going to have more opportunities than we ever have, because we really took advantage of the time that we had in the best way we could. If I'm going to be real, the only time that I get worried, this is too real, is when Jordan sometimes is like, is this going to be viable forever? And I think you just go through your own, like our own stuff, where you just get in a rut and you're like, you're not touring. And I know for him, a lot of this, and all of us, is like, touring is our lifeblood. So it starts to feel like, what am I doing with my life when you don't get to do your favorite thing ever? So that's the only time when we're like a little bit worried, but I think it's more internal, because everything else external is just so wonderful and doing so well. And we're so lucky and supported.
Jordan,
Yeah,
what were you? Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you feeling?
You gotta you gotta ask questions about sustainability sometimes with anything you do in your life, and like, it's important when you're faced with something like a pandemic to, you can't make assumptions about what everyone's trying to do. So those conversations have to happen, where you need to sit down with each other and say, how much longer can we commit to something, and is this right for everybody, and are people feeling solid in the decisions that they're making? Because if you ignore that stuff, that's what leads. And I think that's what has caused this band to have the longevity we have, and to have like the confidence we have moving forward as a group, is because we're not really afraid to ask those questions. And thankfully, the answer that comes back usually is, yeah, we want to stay together. But it's better to ask and communicate with one another than it is to just assume and then be surprised later. So we've gotten pretty good at just talking it out.
Now, just curious, Jordan, during the pandemic, have you guys been writing music, and has that theme of how you guys write and the subjects that you write about, has it changed because the world has changed, and because we have the pandemic, and because feelings and emotions are different than what it was before the pandemic?
Yeah, man, we wrote and recorded a whole new album over this pandemic so far, and it's totally different than I think anything we've ever done before, especially in terms of subject matter. I think there's a lot. I think it's probably the most honest work we've done, and definitely some of my favorite stuff. So we're really excited about it. It's still pretty fresh for us, but you'll be hearing some of it soon enough.
Zach, how did you guys even make time to record during this time? Because open, close. Yeah, you can get together. No, you can't get together. No, you're only allowed 3 people. No, you're allowed 10. Don't go near anybody.
Yeah. Well, we did a lot of remote writing, actually, just on Zoom calls. So we were separate, and we've always made sure that, if we are getting together, like sometimes we need to, that we're very open about, not seeing anybody, and doing our best to just inform everybody like, oh, I'm not feeling well, or so and so maybe is afraid of yada yada yada. So we always did it safely, as safe as we could be, and is made sure we were all comfortable basically. And when we were in the studios were allowed to be open. We had masks on the whole time. I think that was the most interesting experience of the studio, is navigating our emotions and expressions with just a mask on. It's all eye contact. We
Well,
made time.
we're glad that you guys were able to record and get new music out. I'm going to ask each of you the same question, though, and I'm going to start back with you, Zach. What has been the most positive thing that has happened to you during this pandemic? Whether you learned something that you never did before, or experienced something really great that you wouldn't have if you weren't going through this, what's the most positive thing?
I think there's a lot of positives I've experienced, and it put me through a very dark time, but especially last summer, like we were talking about the sustainability of the band, and that just like Sally said, it's not as much of a group thing as an introspective feeling of like, oh, what's my purpose in life, or when we're not writing music, getting together, playing shows, um, I'm not doing anything else, and I felt very purposeless and down and out, and it just kind of forced me to appreciate life, and that anything could happen, and not to, I don't know, find some hobbies, enjoy lots of things, not just like tunnel vision everything. I did a lot of fun stuff. I did a lot of introspection. I went to therapy. I got to know myself a lot better. I think the relationships with the band members has improved because we got to take a break from each other. To Jordan's point, this music is the most honest we've kind of made. And that's also, I don't know if it's directly from the pandemic in a way of like, new life experience, but it was more like we kind of realized how short life is, and let's just do right by us. Let's stop, trying to, I don't know, make everything so pretty and perfect, and just be real, and make sure we're covering our bases of expressing ourselves and feeling good about the art we do as a unit. I think we really accomplished that. So, like I said, there's so many positives. I feel like if this didn't happen, maybe the band would have broken up within a year.
You never know, man. You never know. Sally, same question for you.
I think it's pretty similar in terms of like I felt that I can finally have some space, and I think it was very much needed. Like again, it's so hard to get so real because it could get so like
Get real.
sad. It could get so sad. But I think I told Jordan this in the studio at one point, but like in the most like obviously I don't want anyone to get hurt. Like that's the main thing. So I don't want to say this being insensitive to that, but I remember feeling like I constantly having to do stuff and constantly working and just so much trudging along that I would wish that I could have a break in any way, but I was like there's no way. Like how could I make everything suspend in the air and stop? I used to dream about that happening, just accepting that it never would. And then it's kind of like not in the best scenario, but it's like you got that and it happened. And when it happened, I was like, okay, as long as I'm staying safe, I just need to make the best out of this as I can, because this is what you kind of were asking for, as a break in a way. So I did take the time to really sit with myself, get therapy, um, be sit in the introspectiveness and try to grow and see where like my personal weaknesses were and work on them so that I can also come back to life, come back to this band a bit stronger of a person and not have those faults break as you get tired and then it falls apart. Like I just want to have more of a strength in the foundation of who I am when I come back to it.
Amen to that. Jordan, what about yourself, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely experienced a lot of what these guys have been describing. I think the only thing I'd add to it is I think at the end of 2019, like we had just come off the road, and I was kind of like, I felt like I had started to lose touch with what I enjoyed about music making in the first place, both like writing and performing. I wasn't getting the same feeling from it, and I felt like maybe I was starting to take it for granted, as just something like almost like what Sally said. It's a constant in my life. Like I've been performing since I was in high school and kind of never stopped until this year. So it's strange to like open your eyes and kind of wake up to that, at my age and be like, wow, like this has been such a constant fixture and something that through no stretch of the imagination I could ever think would stop. I thought the only thing that could stop it would be me deciding to stop. So having that taken away from me made me realize how important it was and how much I want to get back to it. And it kind of helped me rediscover music from the foundation and like move through that whole like struggle of like love and hate and self-confidence and sort of you know not having that confidence in yourself and your abilities as an artist. Like all of those experiences I did from when I started playing music till now, I revisited over the course of this year and came out of it like with a new appreciation for what we've chosen to do with our lives. So it was a really transformative time, and I think I'm still kind of in the midst of that. But I think for the most part, I've gotten something really positive out of it, and was lucky enough to not be hit with a lot of the negative sides of this that a lot of other people have had to experience. So I've had the space to use this as something to kind of springboard me into my future.
One thing that I know on my side, a lot of us take for granted, and Zach, I'm going to throw this over at you. You must be enjoying being able to wake up in your own bed for these last couple of days, not being in a hotel, not being in a motel, or sleeping in the car for the amount of traveling that you guys have to do around this country. It's got to feel good to be able to go, hey, I'm going back to bed in my own bed.
I mean, I quite like the road. No, here's the funny part, Rudy. I actually just recently moved out of my parents' house. So coming back from tour was always going back to my parents' house, which tour felt like I was on in my own place. And then coming home was like, oh man, like now I'm shacking up at my parents' place. That was a real drag. Sleeping on people's couches in Calgary, that was awesome. So I'll have to re-experience that to give you a better answer.
Man, you guys, like I said, you guys are a true rock band, a true pop band in every sense of the way, which is why you guys have progressed so much in these last couple of years. And I love it, whether it be music and as we just learned personally, too. Sally, what's going to happen with the rest of 2021? You did talk about tours. Are we looking at more new music? And during the summer, are we going to get any little surprises? And also, especially with you, are we going to be getting those great artistic pictures that you love to take? Because those things are amazing.
Damn, thank you. That is a really sweet compliment because we take the visuals so seriously. I say that because sometimes it's a jokey, but like we take them seriously as part of the process of art. But yeah, we have a lot lined up. It's just I feel like we're living in so much uncertainty that I don't want to give you any false hope. But let's say, the vaccines are coming in, we're all ready to go, things are lightening up, then yes, we will definitely be playing shows. Then yes, we will definitely be putting out music and you're going to be seeing a lot of us. And if it doesn't happen, you'll still be hearing a lot from us regardless. So you're never gonna get rid of us, Rudy. I don't know
Never.
you.
That I don't want that ever to happen. Zach, I'm going to jump back over to you. Have you
Okay.
have you heard anything yet on if you guys have any involvement with what's going on with the Junos, of course, which is going to be happening in June? They've, as we know, they've pushed it back a little bit. Usually, if things were okay, I would have been talking to you guys on a red carpet during some of the Juno shows or something like that. Do you know anything yet? If you guys have any involvement going on?
Top secret? I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna say no.
I don't think we're allowed to say anything if there were. So let's just keep it there. Let's keep
Okay. I like the way, and I love the way she's moving her eyes too. Yeah, let's keep it a secret. Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with the Junos, but we're very stoked to be involved with the Juno Masterclass.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right. Jordan, you're the last person, and this is going to be sort of even a far out question because, like I said, I love your music. I love the way you guys incorporate your videos and pictures and things like that. Is there ever a chance we can really go old school and you guys will do some kind of, uh, I guess I would call it a rock opera in some way, shape, or form because I think you guys are really set to do something like the Who did back in the day or something like that. Is there ever a chance that we can get a Canadian version of Tommy through you guys or something like that?
I'm not gonna say there isn't a chance. There's totally a chance. I think you have to earn your stripes before you bust out the concept album. So we're just trying to, not get too artsy too fast here, but I feel like it's something that this group of people is definitely capable of. More just, do we want to, get that self-indulgent?
Sally does.
Yeah, I know Zach will probably be down, so we just gotta get.
I feel like Zach will be the least down, to be honest.
Zach, least or?
I think I would be the least down.
I knew it.
I'm not like a concept guy. I mean, I'm very conceptual. But concept album, meh.
See, it's
Like,
his
I
fault,
didn't like
Rudy.
The Wall. I never cared about The Wall. Tommy,
You never cared
whatever.
about The Wall?
Died, I
The
find.
Wall. Screw The Wall.
The Wall was
Sgt.
a great.
Pepper's, not really a cool album. Beatles have way better albums.
And they did concept.
I know, but the
Sgt.
concept
Pepper's.
ones were probably like the silliest.
Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, I know. Screw Sgt. Pepper. Sue me.
Bragging. Okay, but if I'm gonna be real, I don't think if I imagined a concept album, especially with this group of people, and especially Zach and I don't think it would ever be that serious. Like, my goal for it would be like the most ridiculous thing ever. So I wouldn't, sometimes I just feel like those things are taking themselves too seriously, and I'd want it to be like an opera about chips that you love or something.
Hold
like
on,
something.
I gotta just call bullshit on Zach for 1 second. Because weren't you the one forcing us to listen to 2112 on this whole tour? You were listening to 2112.
That's not a concept album.
That's a concept album.
It's a concept album.
No. The song is one song, and then the rest of the songs are meaningless and forgettable. It's all about just
That whole
2112.
album is a concept album, and I will fight you to the death about this.
Okay, I'm Googling that. And I did not make you listen to the album, just the song. So,
Oh my God.
you.
My cheeks are like
Rudy,
in pain. I'm laughing so hard.
Rudy, you're
See-
breaking up the band. We were here being like, this band's never gonna
Oh,
break
here,
up.
here, here.
But Rudy breaks
Wiki,
up the
Rush
fucking
Wiki
band.
fandom. Since the album is named after the Sweetest, is sometimes described as a concept album. Technically, it is not, as the songs on the second side are completely unrelated to the plot of the Suite.
Zach, you have made my weekend, brother.
Oh, thanks. Cheers, Rudy.
And like I said, this is the biggest reason why I love you guys, because your energy and just being I would love to sit into the studio with you guys one of these days just to see
I
what
don't
kind of
think you
energy
would.
it's like. And like I said, I'm so happy for you guys being part of this JUNO Masterclass. I cannot wait to see all the other things you guys are going to be doing in the future. As we wrap this up, I'm going to give each of you guys a chance to say something to the fans out there, because of course we're all going through tough times. Any words of inspiration that you can give? Sally, I'm going to let you go first. Words of inspiration for folks who are going through some tough times. What can we do to hold it together so that, yeah, we can be okay and we can come out to one of your shows?
Yeah, I think there's two facets. One is like really be supportive for one another in ways that people need to be supportive. Like, I know that I'm appreciating that so much right now, is to have, even if it's not like to, next to me, literally, it's like having support right now for each other is so important, whether that be mental health, whether that be musically supporting each other, the arts, anything that you're doing. I think that it's important to to keep on keeping on with that. And then also not to forget that some people don't have a support system, and so to think about ways that you could be kind to yourself, and to always think about yourself and how you want to treat other people, and making sure you're treating yourself with the same kindness.
Thank you so much, Jordan. What do you think?
And me? I
Yeah.
didn't hear you.
Oh, going back
I
to the
would
same question.
I would say communication is everything, even when it's very hard. Try to share what you're experiencing and try to listen with intent when people are sharing things with you, because it might not be the things that they're saying directly. It might be their body language or really anything else that creates the context for the experience you're having with another person and what their needs are. It's our responsibility to try to listen and understand, even when it's very difficult, or even when people think differently than you. Do your best to approach it with love, because that's the only thing that's going to move us forward, is that kind of understanding and hopefulness that everyone's trying to be a good person, even when it seems like they're not. We all want to get there somehow. So understanding and communication is everything.
Amen to that. Zach, last word, my friend.
Yeah, pick up the phone, call your friend, call your mom, call your grandma, and don't be a stranger. We're all going through something right now, and we're in it together, and sometimes you feel alone, but there's always someone. Stay in touch with your friends and your family and your
Again,
loved
amen
ones.
to that. Thank you, folks, for this interview. Thanks for the great music. Thank you for letting me be part of this journey that you guys have been going through. I cannot wait when I can sit down and do a one-on-one with you guys together. It's been, like I said, an amazing ride, and I'm so looking forward to everything you guys are doing in the future. Thank you again for the interview, and congratulations.
Thank
Thank
you, Ruby.
You.
you have been here with us for so long that I look forward to every interview we do, because I feel like we grow together. Like, see you every time, and it's always different. Like, who would have thought this? So, like, I think if anything, keep following Rudy's interviews, follow them with us, because you're gonna, watch from the beginning to wherever the hell we get, and it's awesome. So, thanks for having us.
Thanks again, folks.